You know what I do every Friday night? I make pizza. And I get it on the table in 30 minutes. We feel good after we eat it because it's homemade with ingredients we know, and it's a family tradition. I'm sharing it with you now here on The Last Minute Cook. From flour to finish on your table in 30 minutes.
Non più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor.
If I eat the entire thing, I don't even feel that guilty because it's not loaded with grease. It wasn't made in someone else's kitchen, and I didn't spend a ton of money making it. The more you make it, the easier it gets. So I'm gonna walk you through it, and you can come back and make it a couple of times with me until you have it down on your own Mama's Pizza, whatever you wanna call your kitchen, on your Friday night pizza night. I wanna hear about it. Making this pizza, you don't even have to worry about activating any yeast or being all like pro baker or anything like that. We get to just kind of get it all in, starting with 5 cups of flour. Wait, 5 cups of flour, that's a lot of flour. This is gonna make 5 individual pizzas. If that's too much for you, you're gonna have leftovers, you can freeze them, or, you could cut this recipe in half. We add 1 packet of yeast, half a tablespoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt. The sugar is optional. If you don't want that in your diet, you can skip it or swap it out for honey. Just wanna mix our dry ingredients up before we get our liquids in there. We're gonna add 5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. This gives the pizza a nice kind of rich flavor. We're gonna add some hot water, a little at a time, about 125 or so degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 51 degrees Celsius. Doesn't have to be exact, just hot water. Time to get our hands in there. Transfer this out to my board here, make it a lot easier to mix this dough because it's really just mixing all these ingredients until the dough forms. Be careful when you add water because a little bit goes a really long way, and the more you do this, the easier it gets. This dough looks nice, but as I stretch it, it kind of rips, which is telling me it's not ready. So we need to go a little bit longer. You can use a dough hook in a stand mixer. If you don't have that, you can just use your hands and push and pull, like push at it, grab it, bring it up. Push at, grab, and bring it up. When the dough is nice and smooth and it's ready to go, we are just gonna let it rest for about 10 minutes. I'm just gonna take a little bit of oil and rub it around the dough here. I'm gonna cover it with a little bit of plastic wrap. Split the dough into 5 individual, about equal sizes. Try to go as equal as you can or you're gonna have some upset people. Mine's bigger, mine's smaller. And I'm just working by grabbing the edges, and I want to just keep this a circle as I stretch the dough, just stretching the circle as I go. But flour that surface. Use this hand to turn and the other hand to kind of keep that circle being pulled. So I'm going to pull and turn. Get in the habit of doing this whenever you would order up a pizza. Just say, I'm going to give this a try. And the more you practice, the faster you get, the more consistent you get. Before you know it, you're saving money, your pizza is healthier, you're in control of ingredients you're using. See, you don't have to be a baker to pop out some pizza. You can flip it like that. Not that good at that. That was really bad. This is a last minute cook pizza. No shame in using some tomato sauce from a can, and we're gonna dress it up a little bit, but if you don't have time to make a fancy schmancy sauce, but you still want an awesome pizza, and let me just tell you, whatever pizza you're ordering your delivery from, it's possible they're using something from a can. Ready for tip number 3? Make sure you are ready to get your pizza in the oven before you get that sauce on your dough. If you get your sauce on and then it just sits there, it's gonna seep through the dough, and it's gonna make it hard to slide it in and out. It's not gonna cook right, it's gonna be a mess. Make it as saucy or less saucy as you like. Just use the back of the spoon to get it up to the edges of where you want the crust to be. Don't take it to the very, very edge. You want a little bit of a crust there. Mozzarella, and just spread the cheese nice and evenly. And then a nice little shake of oregano. And this is just a cheese pizza. You can go crazy with the toppings. If you were gonna add anything like thinly sliced mushrooms or some peppers. Now's the time to add that before it goes in the oven. This is going in to the oven for 7 minutes at 425 on the middle rack on a pizza stone. And if you're looking for a vegan option, skip the cheese or put the vegan cheese. I like the Miyoko brand. It's called Mott's, and it like bubbles and bakes like a regular cheese. And I love that. I don't have any on hand. I'd be using it if I did. So for this one, I'm gonna skip the cheese. And I'm just gonna get my veggies right on top. This is just some finely diced mini sweet peppers, the kind of snacking sweet peppers. Just chop them up really fine and get them right on your pizza and just get them in the oven raw and they'll kick up in there for you. In Italy, one of the pizzas they serve that is my absolute favorite pizza to eat is called the Italia, and it's called that because it's the colors of the flag. Arugula like this, so that's the green. You could dress your arugula in a little bit of olive oil and then put it right on, or if you have a little sprayer thing, just give it a nice little, not soak, a glistening of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and then some freshly shaved Parmesan right down the middle, some freshly chopped tomato. The Italia, there is something about these flavors, the arugula that's dressed with a little bit of olive oil and the Parmesan and the tomato on a pizza is so good, y'all. Plus, it's a little bit healthy and it's fresh out of the oven. You made it, whatever toppings you like. You got it flour to finish in 30 minutes. You are a pizzeria, which is really cool. Save money, know what you're eating, and take control of your health. Join me on the next episode. Buon appetito. Ciao. I just did that.